Hello and welcome to Permablitz. Ooh-ha! Wish I could be there. I apologize. I will be outside right now, this very moment, as you're watching this, selling apples. And so I'm not there with you. But that doesn't matter because this fancy schmancy technology we have available allows me to be there with you right now from a different point in time while I'm somewhere else in that same point you're living in now. So we're kind of defying the space-time continuum, and this is pretty neat, I think. So if you can wrap your head around that, that's fine. You could probably wrap it around permaculture soil management. But first of all, when you talk about what permaculture is, just so everyone has their own definition of permaculture. There's probably as many permaculture definitions as there are sustainability definitions, and that is way too many. We need to simplify this. I'm not the person to do that. I don't work for Webster's, so I'm going to give you my version, and then they can kind of decide if that's the right definition or not. But so, what is permaculture to me? Well, permaculture is the idea that everything should function as an ecosystem, as it has for over as long as I can remember, at least. And so what that means is that everything has a purpose. There is no waste. If you can get 5, 6 different purposes out of one thing, that's great. If you can put absolutely no effort in and it still functions perfectly, that's great. And so that to me is what permaculture is. Permaculture can be applied economically, can be applied to social concepts, can be applied to government policy, it can be applied to agriculture. And the kind of application that we're going to apply and use talk about probably this weekend is going to be the agricultural version. So in that sense, permaculture, if you were to split it up or whatever, permanent agriculture. And so how do you do that? It's usually perennials. And so we're really going to focus on managing soils for perennials. And we'll talk a little bit about annuals, but mostly perennial systems. So to get us through this, we're going to talk about soil texture and soil structure to just kind of introduce what soils are and how we classify them and talk about them. And then we'll talk a little bit about soil organic matter and why that is so incredibly important when we're managing perennial soils. And then we'll talk about ways to manage soil organic matter because managing sand isn't very easy and it's a pain, and managing clay is equally, big pain in the butt. But managing soil organic matter can be fun and, a great way to spend your afternoon. And so we'll talk about managing soil organic matter for the majority of the talk. And then we'll talk a little bit about composting, but not a whole lot. Because it's permaculture, why do we fart around composting something if we don't have to? Some of you are probably in shock right now when I'm advocating maybe not composting something. But, it's all about the situation. Everything's relative, and that's very important to keep in mind. So, let's get started here. I guess I should probably explain everything here quickly. Because of the situation we're in, this is going to be a multiple-part YouTube video lecture, I guess. So it'll be available on my blog. You can run through and click through, say, we'll have the introduction section, which is this section. And we'll have a soil texture section. And that'll probably be combined with the soil structure section. And then we'll have a soil organic matter section. And then a managing soil organic matter section. Will probably be 2 of those. And then we'll probably have a conclusion. Maybe. We'll see what happens. And that will be that. On the blog, I'll probably have a list of resources available, books and online resources that are useful resources. And if you have any questions, I'll also include my email, even though I'm no soil scientist, but I have looked at this kind of information for quite a while, which is why I'm on this big screen talking to you. Yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy, try to stay awake best you can, and keep up Permablitz.